This next practice object, we're going to work on modeling a cupboard using some of the tools that have been demonstrated in the module. Very straightforward. I wanted to discuss some of the things that happen when you're modeling furniture in terms of inserting edge loops, using them to create shapes, to create extrusions. You can get things to be needlessly complicated when you're modeling things like this. And I just want to offer some insight into how you can analyze your forms and break them down so that you can use as few tools as possible to create some of these forms. Bring this dresser up. This is an antique dresser. The wood grain is pretty visible, so it's a good example to show. All of these are individual pieces of wood. And there's a tendency to want to model an object like this completely out of one object. And I would urge you to reconsider that. Yes, there will be simple objects that you want to make. That one cube that you can go in and insert edge loops, make extrusions, delete faces, extrude things inwards. It's very possible to create things out of a single object, but it becomes a little bit overkill when you keep inserting topology in different places, different directions, vertically, horizontally. There's horizontal ones here. We have a vertical division here. If we tried to model this out of a single cube, we would have all of these extra edge loops all over the place. And that just becomes needless because topology should be modeled. It's built to be moved. Especially when you're developing things for video games, because efficiency is, more important. So I'm going to eventually get to working on an object like this, but I'm going to start by working on an object like this. And the reason is it's got these inset panels, and these are really simple to make with the extrude tool, as is this frame. So the first thing I need to do is set my project, go to File, set the project, make sure I'm in my game 105 project that I created. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring one of these images into my perspective view on an image plane, which will have it here as a reference. I can move it around in 3D. So the images that I've provided you that you can use to model are available to you. You can also download your own images from the internet. I would urge you to keep them simple, straightforward, much like the images that I've provided you. Those images should be copied into your source images folder, which is inside of your project folder. So to create an image plane in any camera view, which is basically going to give you an image inside of this view, past all these camera icons in your camera menu, there's something called an image plane. Go ahead and click on it. If you have your project set correctly, it will go to your source images folder. I've created a subfolder for this particular module, and I'm going to choose this first image. Now it will cover the entire height of your perspective window when you create it. If you select it, you'll notice that it turns yellow. You can go into its input node and select its size in X and Y. You can drag over both those names and you can middle mouse click. We can even go to the offset X and Y. And just like was mentioned before, if you hold Control, it will give you smaller increments. So that's how you get an image to be projected onto this image plane, and then you can manipulate it with inputs in the shape node.